If you clicked on this video, the first thing I want to say to you is congratulations. You've already completed the first step of decentering men. Number one, awareness. In my own experience, I felt like I knew that I centered men, but I just didn't know the exact steps on what to do to actually decenter them.
Hey, this is V from the future. I just wanted to add and preface this video by saying that this is from my point of view, me decentering men, but this also applies to men as well. Men can decenter women, and it's really important for both genders to do so.
I feel like my life has completely changed from doing these little steps. So, step one is awareness. Awareness involves asking yourself, why do you think you center men? For example, in my past, I used to center men because of the thrill it gave me. The thrill of meeting a new person, the thrill of telling 10 stories to 10 of your friends again and again and getting that, wow, he's amazing, things like that. That gave me the thrill. Another reason could be that you're distracting yourself. You're using men as a distraction. So, what is it that you are running away from? I know these are really hard questions to ask, but once you figure out exactly why, you can then start to reverse it. For example, for me, if I found it thrilling, I could find thrills elsewhere. Like, I really hate public speaking, for example. Every time I would get up and speak to people, it would be really nerve wracking, and that would give me a thrill when I complete it. It's about moving your energy from something not productive to something productive. I built up my public speaking skills. If you're distracting yourself, asking yourself, what exactly are you running away from? Are you running away from some sadness? Are you running away from some trauma? Dig up those emotions, feel those emotions so they don't bottle up. Step two, stop talking about them. Florence's book, Women Don't Owe You Pretty, was when I first read this. In mostly all of the shows that you've ever watched, for example, Mean Girls, you only see the characters talking about their boyfriends or their crush or their husbands. Fairy tales are also problematic. Fairy tales make you want to center your life around men because you want to get married, you want to have that happy ending, you want to have those children with men. But the reality is, in today's day and age, you can adopt, you can have donors. There's no real reason that your life should revolve around men. But this is how the patriarchy is built. This is the system that they want you to be in. They want you talking about boys. They want you centering your life around boys because the only person who wins from that are men themselves. They're benefiting from it, not you. They're getting your energy. They're getting talked about. They're getting all the attention. And that is exactly what they want. This is why you stop. Stop bringing them up in conversations. Only talk about them when directly asked and keep it short and sweet. Even though this sounds easy, this step is probably the hardest because of how ingrained it is in us since we were little girls. But it's also the most transformational. You'll realize how much you used to talk about them. And that is why your brain puts so much importance on them and the amount of energy that you used to put in them without even knowing. Once you start talking about other things that aren't boys, your brain will learn that this is not important anymore and it will put less emphasis on it and you will stop having these constant thoughts about them. Once you stop talking about them, you'll realize how much more energy you have for yourself. And that goes on to step three. Make yourself the center. Now that you have this newfound time and energy and brain power, your life should be so interesting outside of dating or men that you talk about other things. You now get to talk about things that you are passionate about, that you want to put your energy towards. For example, a new business or new hobbies you're doing or new classes. There's so many other things to talk about, and it shows your brain you find these things important because you keep talking about it, you keep thinking about it, and you're manifesting it. Instead of manifesting these toxic relationships, you're manifesting things for yourself. Now you are the center of your life. This is the greatest form of self-love, putting yourself at the center of your own life, choosing yourself over anyone else. I hate how society thinks that being self-centered is seen as a bad thing, being selfish. But no, being self-centered means that you're putting yourself first. On an airplane, you're putting the mask on yourself before putting it onto other people. You are giving yourself love before loving other people. Being selfish is the best thing that you can do for yourself. But that doesn't mean you have to be disrespectful. When you make yourself the center, you really need to ask yourself what your true life goals are. Be very honest with yourself. What is it that you want from life? For example, all of us girls have had the goal of getting married, having kids, having that happy ending because of all these fairy tales, because of Cinderella, the Sleeping Beauty. A prince comes to save us and we live happily ever after in this marriage. But I'm so glad that nowadays people realize that, hey, marriage is not the only way you can be happy. So set clear goals for yourself outside of that fairy tale ending. If you want to have kids, there's multiple ways to have kids that don't require you to settle. You don't have to be married by 20. You don't have to have kids by 25. Just let life do its course. I fully believe in fate. If it's meant to be, it'll be. You don't have to rush it. And rushing leads to settling. The patriarchy wants you to settle. These fairy tales want you to have these happy endings quickly, saying that women become infertile after 30 years. But the reality is, the patriarchy thrives off of women settling. The fairy tales want you to settle down quickly because that means that you're not choosing the best partner, you're just choosing a partner that is convenient. So be real, be honest with what you want out of life. Do you really want that fairy tale ending? Because that fairy tale ending most likely doesn't exist. What are your goals outside of men? What do you want to achieve? What skills do you want to build? Do you want to have a business? Do you want to help people? Have goals outside of men. So, once you've been aware of why you actually center men and you reverse that, you stop talking about them and you make yourself the center, this is the equation for self-love. Congratulations, you are loving yourself through decentering the men and centering yourself. If you got towards the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video helps, and I hope you all come to realize, like I did, that there's so much love out there outside of men. And I hope you guys find what you're truly passionate about. And decentering men doesn't mean getting them completely out of your lives. It's just shifting your perspective from them to you. You are most important, and the relationship will be supplementary. It will be an add-on, an accessory to yourself, but you yourself are whole without it. See you next time. Love you.